Hi, my name is Jessica Yates. For those of you who do not know me, I will be your child's Algebra 1 teacher this year. And for those of you who do, welcome back. I'm excited for another great year and I am ready to tackle Algebra 1. The purpose of this video is so that we have a little bit more time during back to school night to actually have some discussions and allow me to answer some of your questions. 10 minutes is a very brief period of time, and I feel like I usually talk for 8 of them, and then we're cramming in questions for the last 2. So I'm going to take you through my presentation in this video, and that way you can watch it and come to back to school night already ready with some of your questions. The second purpose of this video is that I will be flipping the classroom with your child this year. The flipped classroom is an approach where the students learn outside of class, usually that is their assigned homework, and then they come to class with new information on a new concept that we can expand and learn more about together in class. So you're getting a little taste of what your child is going to see during this year. So let's get started. I'm going to start with why are we here? So Algebra 1 is a very important class. It is the foundation for all future math classes that your kids are going to have. Everything will go back to what they learned this year. This class will help develop your reasoning skills. It'll give you some applications for the real world, and finally allow students to begin finding patterns. It's very, very important that they get this foundation before moving on to higher level courses. Next, I want to talk about the notebook. So this year, I want students to have 2 spiral-bound notebooks. Okay, something as simple as this. Okay, they're like 25 cents right now. I want them to have 2, one for their class notes and one for their homework. Okay, I have a reason behind this madness. I know that note-taking is one challenge that students always mention, and I want to make sure that we can work together to help them prepare to use and actually take good notes. I think if they're kept in one location, if they keep them in that notebook, it's going to be a lot easier for them to refer back to, and then they don't have those loose leaf papers scrambling around that they cannot find. I also want them to have a notebook for their homework. I know that it takes a lot of time to scramble through loose leaf paper in a binder and then not be able to find their homework. So if it's in one place, they just flip to that notebook, they know where it should be. If I ask them to turn it in, they're ready to rip it out and hand it right in. So not only will they stay organized, but it'll save us some time in class as well. Please make sure your kids have those by Wednesday. So they should already have one by the time I see you. If not, I've got some extras. So let's get started on the year. So here are the ways that students can earn math grades and points from these assignments. Homework is a big one. The better they practice, the better they'll do on quizzes and tests. So while homework may not be a ton of points, it's still a super important part of the grades that they can earn. My grading system is a total point system. Whatever you earn out of whatever was possible will be your percent. Tests and quizzes are worth more points. Obviously, they hold a little bit higher weight, but students can expect to have between 300 and 400 points each marking period. So there's a lot going on. Breaking down homework specifically, homework that is checked for completion is worth 2 points. You either did it all, you did half of it, or you did none of it. That happens most of the time, but I will also grade homework on accuracy. Okay, so I will collect the assignments, I will grade some of the problems. They'll usually be worth 5 to 10 points if I grade an assignment. I won't tell the kids what problems are being graded, but just know that I'm going to pick the problems that I am confident that we went over in class. If they don't get them after class, then I want to know they're not getting them so we can tackle that before a quiz or a test takes place. No work on homework means you get no credit. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. The answer keys. Okay, I post the homework answer keys on my website for each assignment in each chapter. So it's expected that students check their homework and then they're ready with questions the next day. If I give them the answer key, then they can double check. Maybe they made a silly mistake and didn't realize, or maybe they get so stuck on a problem that if I give them the answer, they could work backwards and try to figure it out. So again, back to no work, you don't get credit. Okay, if I just see numbers on a paper, I assume that you just got on the website and copied down the answer key that I already posted. I need to see your work and how you got through and how you reasoned through the problems, so I know if you are using correct math skills and applying what we're learning in class, or if it's just a guess, okay? The wrong work won't be punished. I need to see what that work is. If you don't show it, then I have no idea how they got to the answer. So it's really important that they remember that they have to show work. Also, as parents, for you guys to know that the answer keys are available on my website. Helpful for you guys too. Late work. I will accept homework 1 day late, and I will take for half credit. After the second day, it's a 0. Like I said, they're either worth 2 points or 5 to 10. So if you miss 1 or 2 homeworks, not a big deal. If it starts to become a trend, that's where it's going to affect your grade. Assignments and projects will happen periodically. If they're turned in late, you lose 10% of the total points each day. There are certain assignments and projects that I will let the kids know, not all of them, they have the opportunity to turn them in early, and I will actually add 5 percentage points to their grade each day it is turned in early. Like I mentioned, total point system for their grades, so late work is always better than no work. Even if you lose some points, it's better to turn it in and get credit for it. Extra credit. Like I just mentioned, they have the opportunity to turn some assignments in early for extra credit. I will also provide extra credit questions on all quizzes and tests. Most of these questions are designed to extend their understanding, kind of push them beyond the boundaries that we learned in class, see if they can apply their knowledge to different concepts. I will not give extra credit to boost a grade or at the end of the marking period. If they do the work throughout the marking period, that much extra credit shouldn't be needed. I follow the regular district grading scale. I put this slide on here because most of my students are used to getting 100%, no problem. It's just what they do. Very little work, very little effort. They do what they need to do, and it's 100. Those days are over. Okay, they are going to have to work to get an A in this class. Okay, that 93 is attainable, but it involves work to get there. So just remember, it's not, you're moving up in the world. You're in a high school class now. You got to work pretty hard to get that A. Speaking of that high school class, you are considered advanced math for a middle school student. In that case, students must maintain an 85% average to remain in this advanced track for mathematics. This average, it's not just pulled out of nowhere. This is the average that high schoolers need to take a level 1 course. And since this is technically a level 1 course, even though it's offered at the middle school, we need to make sure that we hold the same standard. Because once they get to the high school, they will be graded the same way as everybody else, whether they're advanced anymore or not. If students don't meet this average, they will repeat the course, whether it's the Algebra 1, whether they need to repeat next year. They have to earn that average. It doesn't mean a student fails, but it means that they don't have a strong enough foundation to move forward to max out of math classes by the time they get to their junior year of high school. We want to make sure that students are well prepared to continue on. We don't want them to continue to struggle if they move forward around that number. Now, the 85% average is not set in stone. It is not just based on grades that we look at a student moving forward. It's their work ethic, it's their work completion, it's their test and quiz scores, it's their level of effort that we see put forth in class. There may be a student who gets an 84 average that gets to move on and an 86 average who doesn't get to move on. It is completely an individual basis, and I will contact you in the future if this becomes an issue. I just want to make sure everyone is aware as we move forward that this average is looked at in order to stay in the advanced track. And everybody's favorite part, testing. Okay, like I mentioned, this is a high school class, so there's a lot going on. We will have 10 chapter tests. Okay, they range from 40 to 50 points per test. We have a midterm. Okay, this is a test that covers the first 5 chapters. So as you can see, it's a little bit more than a chapter test, but nothing too crazy. A little bit after the midterm, we will get to the PSSA. Okay, this is a grade level test. Does not count as a marking period grade, Most students in my classes have no problem with this. We will do a little bit of review as we get closer. We also have the Keystone exam. Now, this is Algebra 1 content only. This doesn't count as a marking period grade, but a passing score is required for graduation. Again, this is something we can tackle later on in the year. I just want to make you aware that it happens. And then the final exam. It is not a cumulative final. We just start where the midterm left off and cover the last 5 chapters for the final. This will take place usually during that last week of school. So everybody else is kind of winding down in middle school mode. This high school class still has a test. Okay, so don't forget that one. Same set of points as the midterm. So with communication, one thing I want to point out is the website. So you got to the website to see the video, so explore it a little bit more. There's a lot of good resources there for you. Sapphire is another great way to communicate. The assignments that are posted on Sapphire, I put them up right when they're assigned, sometimes before. So it's a great tool to keep up with what's happening. It also helps keep an eye on what's going on with the kiddos' grades, making sure they are where they need to be. And then email updates. I will send these periodically. Sometimes it's every 2 weeks, sometimes it's every 3 weeks to a month. But they contain information on quizzes and tests that are upcoming. Sometimes it's answer keys, sometimes it's extra resources. Schedule change is a big one. Anything that might be happening. These are whole class, so it's based on what's going on in that class. Individual communication will happen one-on-one. I just want to remind you that I'm always available for extra help. Please encourage your students to take advantage of 9th period to come see me with questions, clarifications, study tips, help with a problem, anything that they might need. I am here. If they don't ask, then I can't help them, and I want to make sure that they know I am here to help. Along the same line, with tutors, I really recommend that you stay away from tutors if possible, especially this early on in advanced math, because if you need one now, there's a really good chance you're going to continue to need one as you move through. So if they need help, come see me as the first line of defense, and we'll see if outside help would benefit them, or if maybe it would kind of hinder the situation a little bit. Bottom line, I'm here if they need help. So thank you for watching. I look forward to meeting with you guys on Back to School Night. Please come with any questions, comments, concerns that you may have, and we can kind of open up the lines of communication. I'm super excited for this year, and I'm ready to get started with your kiddos. Thanks so much.